Hi, I'm Steve Adubato. It's my pleasure to welcome for the first time here on One-on-One, Adaora Udoji, who is the founder and CEO of Out Loud Inc.
Yes.
You're not the co-founder, you did it yourself.
I did it myself, and I'm driving it myself, and I'm an entrepreneur at a late age.
What is Out Loud?
Out Loud Inc. is a digital and technology public speaking platform, and we're taking a real look at public speaking driven really by science, like what's going on in the mind of the talker when you're talking, what's going on in your mind as you're sitting here interviewing me, what's going on also, and just as importantly, in the minds of those who are listening. How do we comprehend things? And how do we engage with people to be effective, whether you're an entrepreneur trying to pitch to get money, or you're a corporation, right? Talking to your employees and getting everybody on the same team so that you can be effective, because we know these are turbulent times.
Absolutely. See, you have a fascinating background. You have a legal background?
I do.
You have a background in media as
I was a producer, and then I was a correspondent. I was a foreign correspondent, and then I was a radio host on public radio.
So you admit that?
I do. All of it.
And you bring all that together to do this.
I do.
Why?
Because it all made sense. It's bizarre how all of these things that seem so separate all of a sudden came together. Here I am working, talking about storytelling. I know storytelling. I spent a lot of time doing that, won awards even doing that. I spent some time in the technology field. I hold equity in some startup companies. I've invested, done some angel investing, and I've learned about how technology is built. And this is why you do what you do, right? The question always is, what's next?
Yeah.
And business leaders ask themselves those same questions, or entrepreneurs ask themselves those same questions. And then you have to go talk about it to people. You have to explain to them why what it is that you're doing is important. And storytelling is really powerful. So it's all of those things, and the legal stuff comes in handy too, because there's contracts, there's patent, those sorts of things. So it's kind of helpful to have a little bit of knowledge. So my parents were actually happy. It all came together.
Absolutely. Who's your market?
Who's my market? Oh, it's a combination. It's both young people, right? Even high schoolers. I do a lot of workshops with high schoolers or for college students, but also entrepreneurs. But I do work with corporates. I do work with individuals, like I've worked with a CEO on Wall Street, a digital media executive, getting them to turn down the anxiety and be more effective when they're trying to share whatever it is their message. So it's actually a very broad market.
I'm curious about this because you know that I teach and communicate. I teach public speaking and communication skills, but I teach it in my mind. I have to be there physically. I have to be with you, and we have to go through this together. How do you do it differently?
Well, it's very effective. I don't think that you can. There's nothing more effective than doing exactly what you're doing. However, are there certain tools that you can create that can get people started better than if they didn't have anything at all? Not everyone can afford you, right? Not everybody can take your class. Yeah, compared to nothing, creating some basic templates for story building. And as you know, writing for the ear is radically different than writing for the eye. Right? So there are slight nuances, and what we provide are basic frameworks for you to take a look at what do you want, who are you talking to, and why are you talking to them? And then take, well, what do you have, well, who, the what, where, and why of that, and then layer in some human experience. Like, why should anybody care about what it is that you're doing?
You know, it's interesting you say that because as a journalist, with the background you have, it's got to be that certain stories have had a great impact on you.
Oh, sure.
Such
as?
as?
Oh, the Iraq War.
Because?
Because regardless of where your political leanings are, war is a horrible thing. And to witness what human beings will do to each other in the midst of it is really indelible. Not to mention the heroism, the way that people survive on a day-to-day basis, regardless of these incredible circumstances. And the Iraq War and spending time in Iraq definitely was a profound and life-changing experience, as was Katrina for the same reason. Seeing Americans in a situation where there's no food or water, in a place where we have so much, to see such desperation, you never forget those things, ever.
Your experience in TV news, were you able to stay positive about the world?
You know what's fascinating? I don't know if this has happened to you, but I've become more
I cover New
optimistic.
Jersey, not the world.
No, but heck, there's
I was just
enough.
gonna say.
That's what, I mean, New Jersey might as well be a country, right?
I was gonna
There's
say,
enough
right?
going on. There's enough people that you talk to who are involved in all different kinds, right? But it's actually interesting that I'm the most optimistic that I've ever been, because what I've learned is that regardless of what happens, you can never smash the human spirit, and that. Most people, and I've spent time all over the world, and 4 continents, and probably talked to hundreds, if not thousands, of people. And I think generally people mean well, even though they have different ideas or thoughts about how government should be run, or what's entertainment, and you can cover that gamut. Generally, most people want some of the basic same things, right? They want to be cared about, they want to be liked, they want to be understood. They want to take care of their family. They want to be listened to, right? And so you see, even though there are lots of differences, but you see those things, and I think that makes me far more optimistic, even though heck, I was an anchor at Court TV for a couple of years, so, people do a lot of bad things, a lot, right? But despite that, that is just such a small, tiny part of what the human experience is.
Before I let you out of here, you went through a challenge yourself.
I did.
Diagnosed with?
Breast cancer. Yeah.
Changed you how?
It changed me. It sounds so cliche, but it's very true. It just makes you realize that today is it. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So live today for today. Be in today. And don't wait to chase that dream later. Start today, even if it's small. Small bricks make very big buildings. My dad, who's a civil engineer, always used to say when we were kids, drives us crazy. But it's very true. It's very true.
And you make a difference all the time. I also know that you're involved in the Montclair Film Festival.
Yes,
we both
yes, we are. We both are. Yep.
Our friend Bob Feinberg, who
Yes.
founded it, they're doing great work. Do you mind if I
Yes.
plug again? Founder and CEO of Out Loud Inc.
Yes, sir.
Listen, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We appreciate everything you've done, and more importantly, everything you'll continue to do.
Thanks. Take care.
Appreciate it. Stay right there. We'll be right back right after this on One on One. That was very nice.
One on One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One on One with Steve Adubato has been provided by the Fidelco Group, Fedway Associates, United Water, Cone Resnick, New Jersey Institute of Technology, United Airlines, and by Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.